Hi, I'm Katie Parks, and welcome to episode 3 of the Blockers podcast. Today, Bryce and I are going to be talking to Spencer Lovell, who just transferred in from Cal, and we are going to talk to him about the transfer portal. So let's get right into it. So Spencer, tell me what it's like, or what's it like going through like the transfer portal process and like kind of like your story because you've done it twice now, right?
Yeah, so I transferred. It was last year, so 2022 after our spring ball hit the portal because there's some NCAA violations with the team. A bunch of guys left. Hit the portal. Didn't want to be in there for long. And then I went to Cal, and I thought, Cal's another Pac-12 school. They're going to have similar resources as I had at ASU, and it's going to be, probably pretty good, strength coaches and training and stuff. So I get there, um, starting at guard, and I play the first 3 games, and then I get hurt that third game. And I mean, the rest of the team got hurt too. So I was like, and the trainers they were pretty bad. My O line coach is pretty bad. Um, and the trainers were pretty bad as well. So I knew that I couldn't stay there if I wanted to be like the best version of myself.
Yeah.
So I hit the portal again. Already had a relationship with the O line coach at Kansas, so it was kind of a no brainer for me to kind of go there, just because Coach Leipold, Coach Sleeve was a pretty obvious decision in my mind.
So when you're like going through the process, like the first time around, did you go on like a bunch of visits or did you know you're like you just talk to them and you're like, yeah, this is a pretty cool place.
Um, I didn't. I mean, I had some big offers at first time I had a portal too, as like USC and Auburn and stuff, and I was just like kind of ignoring them. I just where's a place where I can kind of be the guy, and it was down to Washington State and Cal. So I only took 2 visits, even though I had a lot of offers. Because I didn't want to be in the portal for long, and I really thought that football team would probably be similar. Um, so yeah, those are my only 2 visits, and then uh, I pulled the trigger on Cal. So
The re- I remember you telling me earlier you kind of already had a relationship with Leipold from the first time you were recruiting. That's kind of why you came here. Is it true that the first time you're recruiting is because they were trying to get rid of me?
yeah, I mean there was discussions, and I'm sure you're aware that he's like, I need a right tackle and I need a left guard. Um, I'm sure you knew that too. I mean, they're probably pretty transparent on it, but he's like, yeah, like they're just not performing as how he wanted to. And then, I mean, look at now, and everyone's like, yeah, Bryce is the most improved player by far. So I think you've kind of destroyed that narrative.
Were you just wanting a compliment there or something?
No, no. I just thought it was funny because they I just thought it was funny because or is that kind of like a big reason that you came here after your after you whenever in the portal the second time was because you already kind of built up this relationship with them?
That was part of it. I liked. Well, I sat down, I watched film with Coach Fox, and I saw the tackles not setting vertical, and I knew like that was how innovative football is. That you don't see that. You don't see vertical sets in the NFL that often. So I was like, I already knew that he's a good coach, and I've heard good things about Coach Sleeve from my strength coach at ASU. He's really good. So like, he's like, yeah, if you go to Kansas, Coach Sleeve's going to take care of you. And you look at Coach Leipold's record and what he's done. It's like I kind of went to Cal, and it was kind of a state of dysfunction. And I knew Kansas was going to be quite the opposite.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so let's take it back a little bit. You're a triplet. How
Yes.
how is life for you? With your other siblings.
Um, I don't know. I kind of like forget sometimes I'm a triplet, right? Because like I guess I've been in college for so long, but it's just first of all, like people don't know what a triplet is. They're like, "Oh, you're a twin?" I'm like, "No, there's 3 of us. I'm a triplet." And then I'll show them like photos and stuff, and they're like, because we don't look anything alike. I mean, my brother and sister probably look pretty similar, but I don't. I'm only with blonde hair. Um, so I mean, it was awesome though. Like growing up, it was like I didn't like sharing my birthday. It was fun, like always having like friends around, or like my best friends with me all the time. So and then I played sports with my triplet brother growing up. In high school, I was a left guard. He was a left tackle. I was the five of basketball. He was the four. So it was fun.
Did
They're
y'all
pretty
like make
athletic.
it really competitive? Like, did you make each other better?
Oh,
Just like keep playing with each other and stuff?
oh, absolutely. We had a basketball court in my backyard, and my dad always kind of pushed sports on us.
Yeah.
He would like sit us down and we'd watch like college football tapes, like VHS tapes,
Yeah.
and like the tapes as a kid. And we'd always just be battling in the backyard. And then, I mean, I used to be up with my little brother or my triplet brother. I say I'm older because I'm 2 minutes older, but um, I used to beat up on him. And then I have a older brother, 6 years older. He used to beat me up. He used to like lay the law. So it's a cool little like I don't know checks and balances type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for like so for me, it's I'm the oldest of the family, and I'm the one who's doing all the beating. Never really been beat up by older siblings. I did have older cousins that lived across the street. I'm sure that's nothing like having what two brothers and then a sister that's right around your age.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I remember I finally got bigger than my older brother, and I just let it go on him. I had some, I had because dude, he used to. There were times, so he would have like a bunch of friends over at our house all the time, and I would definitely start it, but there'd be times where he'd like so there's like a pole that there's like a foundation in our house. There's a pole, and he tied me to that pole, and I was tied up there for like 3 hours straight.
Oh my God.
Like they used to beat the crap out of me, and all his friends will like come back. They're like, "See, like look at what you're doing now. You're on the football team, like playing like five football. Like we made you tough for like, yeah, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, my my little brother, one time we tied him up and we put peanut butter all over his face and body and let the dogs get after him.
Oh my. I'm like the complete opposite.
wow,
I'm the
wow.
youngest. I'm the only girl. I mean, yeah, we'd play sports and stuff, but it's just not the same. I feel like brothers can be a lot more rough and everything.
Yeah, well, you're also the only girl, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I
You
mean,
didn't get
kind of
beat
take
up
it as
on?
you know, huh?
I thought the sister usually gets the worst of it. That's what I was.
I
Think
mean, I
so?
feel like, yeah, I
Sometimes,
mean,
yeah.
like they wouldn't tie me up to a pole or anything, but they'd be like annoying. It's not like you guys, like boys can get in like fist fights almost. Like you can't hit a girl.
Yeah, I'm starting to get scared because my little brother, he's only in eighth grade. He's already 6'2". I think he might catch me here in a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit him up and hopefully get him on some jujitsu so I can just whip up on you.
So let's kind of go back on topic real quick. Since you've been at KU, what's kind of like the differences between like your past schools and this football program? Do you think this football program is going to be more effective on like the teaching and learning, and just kind of the overall development compared to the other guys, or do you think we're a little bit softer, or the workouts are less hard, or what?
um, I'd say it's I wouldn't compare anything to Cal just because I think I had such a bad experience that that's definitely at the bottom. I would definitely compare it to ASU because I mean we had some success. We've been to like what 3 bowl games since I've been there. So I mean comparing the two, um, I think so. I mean we had Herm Edwards, right, and he was a great coach, very experienced. Really did stuff for his players, kind of like Leipold. But when you see those guys with discipline issues, that they're off the field issues, that's when Leipold really drops the hammer, kind of holding guys accountable for stuff. At ASU, there's so many off the field issues that distracted a lot of what we were doing. And so I think the best thing about Coach Leipold at Kansas is he's setting up systems so everyone's kind of held accountable. So
Hmm.
even if you're off track and you're young and mature, he's going to have systems in place that are going to probably push you to make better decisions. Um, as far as strength coaches and stuff, I think uh, Coach Joe at ASU and Coach Sleeve, they're pretty similar in how they run things. Good, fun environments, and they both respect each other a lot. So I mean, it's pretty similar there. It's kind of nice knowing that I have a strength coach that really knows their stuff, so I don't have to second guess their workouts or what they're telling us to do. And same as the trainers are good too. I would say, uh, I guess the locker room, like as far as like the O line and like the people and stuff. Um, I mean, Cal was probably the weirdest group of people I've ever met. We would lose games and no one cared. But I think, like I feel like you're not going to go to Kansas, play football, and kind of you know be too weird. I think it kind of, if you go to Kansas, it's kind of like you're recruiting specific type of guys that are going to be probably more humble and kind of more blue collar, right?
Yeah.
So I think that kind of bears a lot of weight. Just like it's so easy to get along with people at Kansas. I mean, it still was at ASU, but you kind of still you saw a lot of like guys from California, like kind of Hollywood types of people. So, but I think as far as like football wise, I think Coach K is by far the best offense coordinator by far.
Oh, he's a
I think
Houdini, isn't he? He's a football guru, and he is. That is, whenever I had my concussion the other week, and I was sitting back, like just like watching the offense, because as an offensive lineman, you don't ever see any of the emotions, you don't know what any of that stuff means. You hear it in the huddle, it kind of flies right over your head. But I gotta like kind of sit back and watch and like hear the play call and see what all the receivers and stuff like that do. Oh man, if I was a defense, I know I'd be confused because I mean, you see all these receivers and tight ends and running backs just going all over the field before the ball's even snapped. And it's confusing. I think he's definitely putting like the whole offensive line in a really good spot with like different types of chips and different types of blocking techniques. Um, so let's move on a little bit. Your PCL, no more.
PCL is gone.
PCL is completely gone. You don't have a PCL.
What
I
happened?
don't have PCL. Was it last Saturday? Practice felt fine.
Yeah.
Walked out the field, felt fine. Sunday hit, kind of acted up. Monday I couldn't walk. I was on crutches,
Dang.
and then it was just inflamed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel great. I feel great. I think I might be able to run the next few days.
Really?
The
Oh, good.
inflammation just came down. See what the trainers say, but so yeah, PCL is missing. I've had PCL issues before, but it's probably the best knee injury you could get with your that torn ligament. So I'm pretty
Really?
happy that yeah, it's like you're still going to lose some stability, but there's guys in the league, a lot of guys without PCLs, and they're still chugging along.
Yeah.
Dang. I
So
didn't know that.
before you got here, you were at Cal, and you said you had the injury. What was that injury?
It sounds like a stupid injury. It's turf toe, but what it is the two ligaments in my big toe were almost completely torn.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like how I was doing the same thing every day, and the trainers were terrible. It took me, weeks on weeks to get MRIs for my toe. My shoulder too. Found out I had a torn labrum as well. Um, and they did nothing to fix it. And then they expected me to come back mid-season without any like individual time or coming back, and they wanted me to play in the Oregon State game, and I wasn't ready at all. And the whole process was terrible. So I
Damn.
think I think Kansas football with my toe, my injuries when I came here, um, they did a really good job of making sure that I was ready to go for spring. And if I wasn't able to, they had plans in place for that too. So
Yeah. Those trainers are always like on top of it too. Like anyone at like KU, they're like, oh, you need an MRI, you'll get it like the next day.
Especially like the football staff trainers. I think they're absolutely unbelievable. You go in there and you say you have anything that's wrong with you. They do like a full medical checkup and actually find out what's wrong with you. I've had a decent amount of injuries since I've been here, and every single time they're always. I mean, they make you go and get rehab and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure other colleges they're kind of go ahead if you want to get better, go ahead and do it yourself.
Yeah. So when you were transferring like from your first school compared to like after Cal and you were injured at Cal, how different was like the transfer portal process? Because were you out like most of the season for with the turf toe or
yeah, So I only played 3 games, and so the remaining 9, I was out, and I was still coming back. And
Yeah,
I didn't want to leave because I just transferred. I'm not one of those guys that likes to jump
right.
ship. But I knew it had to be done. Um, so it's hitting the portal the second time, I was like, okay, I know I I went to a place where I know I would, win the starting job and I know I'm playing, but it wasn't where I thought I was gonna be. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to a place where I'm gonna be the best version of myself. And I'm gonna better myself. And if I play, I play. If I don't, I don't. But I know I'm gonna give it, all I got. So also the coolest part about KU is, well, one of the coolest parts is like the NIL money here, like the NIL opportunities here is insane.
Yeah. Especially for like football, they really try to like provide for you guys and like get stuff done.
Like $1,000 a month, like extra money is like just guaranteed. You just barely have to do anything. It's pretty crazy.
You're lucky dogs, let me tell you.
The casinos are going to be very happy or very sad.
All right, Spencer, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah, you too.